ranch outside Matamoros, from which he has continued to carry out cattle raids across the river in Texas. In April, he is captured and brought before Governor Servando Canales of Tamaulipas, who sentences him to be executed for disrupting border society. When Rip Ford generously intervenes on Cortina's behalf, Canales agrees to send Cortina to Mexico City. There, President Diaz will commute his sentence to life confinement in Mexico City. Before Cortina leaves, he and Ford discuss how much Brownsville has changed since the death of Cortina's mother and the loss of other founding leaders of the town.
Juan Cortina. It is with good reason that you were found guilty of cattle rustling in Texas. Your victims carried their grievances all the way to our Mexican Presidente Porfirio Diaz.
I know just what victims that would be.
You have a lot of enemies as well as friends. Colonel John Ford has persuaded me to let our Mexican Presidente decide your fate. He will more than likely change the execution you richly deserve to confinement in Mexico City. Be gone.
Well, Rip, I've always owed you a lot. But now I owe you my life.
Sentenced to life confinement in Mexico City, huh? Sounds more like Brer Rabbit thrown in the briar patch to me. I guess you'll just have to learn to live without shooting everything up for a change. You'll forgive the tone of relief in my voice when I say that Brownsville just won't be the same without you anymore.
Well, at least maybe now you can get a good night's sleep, huh?
Well, Brownsville's a very different place these days, ever since the death of your charming mother. And with Charles Stillman having gone back home, Brownsville's lost its most visionary patron. I'm afraid Brownsville's just going to be a quiet, ordinary town for the first time in its history.
In the end, Brownsville is not Stillman's. It's not my mother's. And it's not mine.
Imagine how much suffering we could have been spared if we'd never heard those words, me, or mine, mine, mine.
Yes. Well, I still have one more score to settle with the biggest me of them all, Adolphus Galavica.
And how do you plan to get revenge on him when you're in Mexico City? Not with more help from curanderas.
In 1879, the newspapers as far away as San Antonio were abuzz with the story of how Adolphus Glavica's home had been assailed by a poltergeist. Bricks had flown through the air, smashing his house windows, killing his parrots, and driving away the residents of the house, while spectators and Sheriff Brito looked on helplessly. No assailant and no source of the many bricks was ever found. And after 1 week, the brick assault stopped as abruptly as it had started. Some might have suspected the work of a curandera, and some might have suspected Glavica's old enemy, Juan Cortina. But Cortina was far away, confined to Mexico City. In our final scene, the year is 1890. Cortina and his new wife, along with the Glavicas, Rip Ford, and others, attend a dinner in honor of Juan Cortina, who has been allowed one brief return visit to Matamoros. Speeches abound, and Cortina fields questions about his willingness to forgive his enemies, his ideals, and the 1879 poltergeist. The men discuss putting aside old animosities and the need for forgiveness between Mexicans and Americans. The dinner ends with an imagined vision of a day when all of North America will be united in friendship.
Since the characters didn't die young, teeth and hair fell away as time showed no respect and commitment seek in word and song. Our Rio Grande and Redbeard instead, our brave one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to have us lift our glasses to a good friend, a local legend, and a great hero, Juan Cortina.
Thank you, Rip, for persuading President Diaz to allow me this last visit.
Oh,